Thank you for being here for this morning's introductory press conference for Auburn's new head track and field coach, Ken Harnden. At this time, I'll turn it over to Athletics Director John Cohen. John?
Good morning. War Eagle. We don't have to read very far into the Auburn Creed to understand why Ken Harnden is our new head track coach at Auburn University. George Petrie wrote this in the opening line. I believe that this is a practical world, and I can only count on what I earn. Ken Harnden has earned this opportunity. Just look what he's done at Auburn for the past 4 seasons. World records, NCAA records, SEC and national championships. 3 consecutive top 10 finishes for the men's team, the first time in a quarter century. The one stat that jumps out among all others is that 96% of the points scored at Auburn over the last 4 seasons have been by Coach Harnden's sprinters. Remarkable. 8 times in his career, he's been selected as the National Assistant Coach of the Year by the U.S. Track and Field Coaches Association. I just mentioned to him in the back in the practice gym. I said, that's remarkable. And he says, yeah, but that eight times is over 25 years. I said, that's still pretty remarkable. If you have 350 Division I track programs and each of them has in the neighborhood of 5 assistant coaches, that's well over 1,500 coaches. And to be named Assistant Coach of the Year for the 8th time in 25 years is pretty remarkable. When your peers say you're the best in the business, not once but 8 times, including 5 in a row at Auburn, it tells you everything about Ken Harnden, that he is regarded in the track community as one of the best, not only in our country, but in the world. In spite of those accolades, Coach Harnden refuses to take credit. He says, quite simply, I'm just the bus driver. I get them where they need to be. The student athletes, of course, know better. They love and trust in Ken. Coach Dye used to say, you can coach them as hard as you love them. That's certainly the case for Coach Harnden and the Auburn Sprinters, whom he's helped become national champions. Since its inception, Auburn Track and Field has enjoyed tremendous leadership and stability. There's only been 5 coaches in more than a century of this program. Wilbur Hutzel, Mel Rosen, Harvey Glantz, Ralph Spry, and Leroy Burrell. Today, we congratulate the Harnden family and Portia, and we introduce the next leader of the Auburn Track and Field program. Here's to the man who drives the bus for the Auburn Tigers, Coach Ken Harnden. Hold on. I tell you what, there's no way Ken Harnden can fit into that.
Never gonna happen.
Never gonna happen. Yeah. Oh yeah. How about that? How about that? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
It's my first one. War Eagle. I am incredibly grateful for this opportunity, the opportunity to lead Auburn Track and Field and Cross Country. And I want to thank John Cohen, President Roberts, the Board of Trustees for this unbelievable chance in my lifetime. I have prayed for this day for a long time. We have prayed for this day for a long time. I would not be here today if it wasn't for my family, my wife Portia, my sons Gary and Pierce, my parents Graham and Sandy, and my in-laws Frampton and Kim. They are the reason I stand before you today. I'd like to thank Leroy Burrell for bringing me to Auburn 4 years ago. and also for leaving, so that this could be possible. My parents taught me that you should leave a place better than you found it, and I truly believe that Leroy did that, and I plan to do the same. So super excited for him at his new job. Mostly, I want to thank my student athletes, the group that have been here at Auburn the last 4 years, not just the ones that I coach, but the ones that I help recruit and the ones that come to me because they're not sure where they're living next year and things like that. Their dedication, their hard work, their perseverance, but mostly their determination has brought this program to national prominence in the last 4 seasons. Auburn is truly a destination in our sport, and that's something to credit them with. They've done this. In my 4 years at Auburn, I have found my favorite restaurant, my favorite fishing hole, and some of my favorite people, and I just want to shout out one that truly helped me be here the first couple of years, and he's been by my side the entire time. Maybe the best ambassador Auburn has, Scott Duvall. So I know I sound American, but I have been here for 35 years. I was born in Africa, in a little country down in the bottom. And where I grew up, we have a word, Abantu. And the meaning is basically, I am because we are. I have a very good friend that you guys all know, Auburn legend, Kirsty Coventry. She's the president of the IOC. We grew up together, and Kirsty used that word in one of her speeches. And she talked about how it guides her in everything she does. I believe it means that the people around us are what make the difference. And John Cohen has given myself and my family this opportunity to continue striving for national championships, for the GPA trophy that we're going to start next year, best team, in a place filled with wonderful people. And that's the beginning and the foundation for what we do as a track and field program. My first priority has been and will continue to be our student athletes. And I believe in order to give them an opportunity to chase their dreams, to fulfill those goals that they come in with, we have to surround them with the best people we can. And I think the staff that we're going to build embodies everything that we've talked about. I've always believed in surrounding yourself with great people. People are committed to work hard, as it says in the Auburn Creed. I believe in hard work. Where I grew up, it's that or nothing. There's 70-something% unemployment in my country. You don't work hard, there's somebody waiting outside the door to take your job. So it's all we do. Selfless pursuit of dreams, competing to win with integrity. These are things that we've talked about with our student athletes and we'll continue to talk about with the teams in the future. I believe in doing things that are hard, that are difficult, no matter the outcome. They prepare you for life far beyond college and your track and field career or sports or whatever else. And that people, great people, make the journey better than the destination. And that's super important. I know the expectations here are to contend for national championships. John and I have talked about that. We've come this close a few times. And in the last 4 seasons, we're close. Hopefully in the next 4, we cross that finish line first. In every one of our 6 sports, yes, 6 sports, cross country, indoor and outdoor, men and women, we're going to strive for championships. If they're handing out a trophy, we want it. Thank you. War Eagle.
Ken, just what was, when Leroy made his move, I know that came together pretty fast. What was that like for you, immediate reaction? Was there any uncertainty and then what was it like, when John started talking to you?
Yeah, super happy for Leroy, right? He gets to sort of go home, right? I mean, he's from Philly, but Houston's really his home. So just super excited for him and his family to go back to where they were comfortable. And then, John called me up and said, let's talk about this. And man, just like I said, dream come true, something we've been praying for.
If you would talk just a little bit about now broadening your coaching for both the men and women. It's the overall program now, not just the men's sprinters for you.
Yeah. Well, for the last 2 years, I've coached the women's sprints and hurdles, short sprints and hurdles. And we've been pretty successful. Annalise Torian's the the highest point scorer on the women's side in the last 15 years. So she's done a pretty good job. I used to travel the world with her dad, so we've been connected for a long time. We have to expand what we're doing. We have to bring in great athletes, and the staff I plan to hire is, I think, going to be able to allow me to do this job, but continue to coach a good group of young people.
You mentioned you guys have been praying for this for a long time. When did that, or when did you maybe first start thinking, head coach, to be a head coach? Where in your career? Has it always been that way, or?
No, to be honest, the first part of my career, I was just very focused on coaching my group and happy to do it. And, I had a professional track career and then went into coaching, and it was just sort of, this is what I'm going to do, right? Put your head down and go to work. And then as you get through it, you sort of think, well, that's something I'd like to do down the road. So I've had some opportunities. I'll be honest, this opportunity is special because we came here, we built things, and I want to continue on that. But it's special because of what this athletic department, what John Cohen has done for us, and what President Roberts has allowed us to do, right? We have this brand new shiny track out there that, a lot of people don't have. And so this opportunity is unique because of the support.
I heard you say a few years back, you said our vibe attracts our tribe. What does
Yes.
it mean to you to have world record holders, Olympians, and student athletes here to support you on a day that is so important to you?
Yeah, it's everything, right? This is what we do it for. My career is over. This is everything we do is about these young people. Their support day in, day out for me has been the foundation for what we do, right? And when you take good care of people, they take good care of you.
As a follow-up, remember you also saying that as a former competitor, the rush you felt when your athletes were competing was the closest thing to that. Could you describe what it was like, maybe when a world record, when Jacoby set a world record, as the coach who was part of that process?
Jeff, I'll be honest, I wasn't there. So I was in the warm-up track. I don't go in the stadium. I stay in the warm-up track. There's always the next athlete to warm up. And I was actually setting hurdles for Devin in the 400 hurdles for his warm-up. And one of the other coaches said something about 1275, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. There's no possible way that he could have run 1270. He's not that good, right? So, and then your next thing is, it's got to be windy, or there's got to be something to do with it. And then the coaches come over and they're like, yeah, man, your guy just broke the world record. And I'm like, okay, so now we've got to keep him calm for the next 48 hours before the final. So sort of immediately in that vein, but just fantastic, right? The group of young men that ran that day did things that have never been done in a one-day track meet ever. So it's very special.
For someone that when you started your competition, you used to race barefoot,
Yes.
what does this moment mean to you now?
The journey has been epic, right? I came to this country as I tore my ACL playing rugby. I rented a DePaul in Chicago. I'd never seen anything below 50 degrees in my life. There was a little bit of a shock. I walked on at North Carolina. I paid my way through school for a year, working any job I could find. I sold T-shirts. I did everything. And to have the opportunity to lead a program like this and bring young people, young men and women that truly want to be great, it's the ultimate sacrifice, right? Do things for others. So let's have this.
Kind of like you were saying, I've never asked you, who are some of the figures who influenced you? Like when you were running, who are some coaches that influenced you or family members? And
Yeah.
how are you thinking about them today?
Well, my uncle would have gone to the Olympics in 1972, but Rhodesia boycotted, so he was a high hurdler. And he was the reason we started this, right? Like started running. I mean, I went to a boarding school where you had to play every sport. So you couldn't specialize. You played every sport every day, and that's what we did. But I got a message from the Auburn school record holder in the 400 hurdles, Samuel Matete, who was world champ in 93 and Olympic silver medalist in Atlanta in 96, talking about the number of years that I chased him, right, because he was better than me, and spent my life looking up to him. And he grew up in Zambia, which is literally 3 hours from my house. And that message began with War Eagle and ended with War Eagle. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, just year one goals for next year, areas of improvement, or what are your next steps for next season?
Yeah, I think to build out a team that that can compete in all 6 sports, right? I think that's first and foremost. We've been very good in 2 out of 6 sports, and we should be good in all 6. So it's going to be a process. Goals for year 1 are to hire a great staff, continue to recruit high-level people that are also high-level athletes. When you look at the group that's here and some of the other athletes that we've got, they're great people. They're great people first. So that's goal number 1.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.